we've done 2 million more in sales just from ads. What's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Weekflow, where I take you behind the scenes of my company Gemflow and what we're up to. I'm actually right here at a shoot today. More about that later. At the same time, this video is actually going to focus more on how we create longevity with the brands and our clients. It's something that has come up a lot in questions in our Instagram lives and everything else, so we're going to be covering that with myself and some of the team. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shan. I run a company called Gemflow. We work with social media influencers and we help them build their own brands. So not brand deals, their own businesses, and we're pretty amazing at it. Today I'm here at a shoot. Let me actually introduce you to some of the people you probably have never seen. So, what's going on, Rosh?
What's going on? My name's Rosh, work for the content team here at Untitled.
But very professional.
And, yeah, we're on a shoot at the moment.
What are we shooting?
Can't tell too much.
We're shooting some food.
There's some carbohydrates here, some proteins, and some fats.
That's it.
All your essential needs for your diet.
We got the setup with a light, 2 cameras, getting it done. Been doing this for a long time. Then we have Michael.
Hello.
What's up? So Michael is running this project. Is that true?
Yeah, first one.
That's
first
it.
time.
Let me show you. Also, we have Latia. What's up? No, don't want to be on camera. No. So yeah, we're just with the team here. Those are some of the new guys. It's pretty cool. So for the past 4 years, we've been doing different types of projects, and to now have new team members involved is pretty cool. But anyway, it's time to get back to work.
Today I'ma wake up a new man, driving a new road, develop a new plan. I'll never be blue, man. Whatever the view, man. Go to a new beach, get me a new tan.
Alright, so the first thing I would say is, like, when you're actually in the process of like creating your brand, if it's a product, let's say it's apparel, of course, as the like creative director, CEO, founder, whatever you want to call yourself, like you've got this idea of a product and clothing line that you want to put out. And a lot of people make the mistake of like overly focusing on what it is they want. I think that they need to find the balance of like, okay, this is the clothes that I want to create, this is the style that I like, but also like, what does the end user want? What does the market want? You know, what are they going to buy? And I'm using apparel as the example, but you can't just create apparel for yourself, because then that's not a business, it's like a hobby. Or better off just buy some clothes. Like, the point is that if you're going to create a brand, you've got to create it for the market, but it's led with your initial vision. And then from there is like, as you're building your brand, if you want to have longevity, if you really want to be sustainable in the marketplace, you've got to listen to your consumers. And you've got to think about what it is they're asking for, what color schemes. Also, you'll learn by what sells, right? So let's say you sell a ton of black in a large, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, you're going to give more of that. Listening to your consumers is so important. And then giving them more of actually what they're asking for. It's actually so basic that people are like often like overly consumed with like, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want to create? And just not listening to the buyer. So that's really key. Also, you've got to understand that your consumer will evolve over time. You know, your consumer might start with you at 18 years old, and in a year's time they're 19, 20, 21. And as you're growing up, opinions change, style changes so frequently. So you have to be able to evolve as a brand with your buyers, with your consumers, and keep up at the same pace. Because they're not going to necessarily like what they liked at 18 years old. They're not going to like it at 20 years old. So if you want to have that loyalty with your core base, like, you've got to evolve at the same pace. And the only way to know what they want is to listen to what they want. And the way you listen is to communicate. You got to communicate with your audience via social media, Instagram, your YouTube, read the comments, like understand what it is they're saying, and you use that information to essentially build your brand. It's actually really simple, but a lot of people tend to miss it.
Single thought, got goals on my wall, I win, I never fall. I've been gone for a minute, yeah, I had to be free. You want it, I got it. So tell me what you need.
I am sending out tech packs to the factory for like lots of brands that are launching soon. So we're getting samples in, lots of different fabrics. That is why my desk is chaos.
You have the most messy office. I think anyone that watches it, like, these guys are like, yeah, I guess one thing we can do is we can use the team to come up with, like, for example, even maybe if it was an app or on product or maybe creating designs, we can ask the team like the things that they're really saying to the clients and really doing day to day, we can turn that into post, right? So I feel like you can lean on them a bit. People think factories are the problem, but really it's your information that you're sending to the factory. Yeah. Like, I think we could try like a bit more detailed post. Most entrepreneurs starting beauty brands just don't know enough about beauty itself, formulations, because she's like a chemist. she worked in a place as a chemist. Hence why all of a sudden we've elevated this high. An internal call when we sign a client. Just to make it very clear to all parties, basically, yeah. Because then they'll move on and we should be doing a kickoff call externally with the client and whatever else, but that process is now in place. This is more like just a quick one to say, hey guys, we just signed the client, this is what's been promised, let's go ahead. Because with some of them, like with when I did the call, the reason was because I'm the one speaking to him directly, so like I had agreed to certain things. He has a current app, we need to move those people onto the new app and whatever else, you know. I'm getting him an Instagram username, like there's so many little bits. It's just good to like let the team know. That obviously trumps all of that as well. I feel like if that's the USP, those already exist, but I can even send you some profiles because I follow a couple of guys just to see how they create content on that subject. Hey, what's up? So I'm about to just jump on a review for one of the team. If you've been following my Instagram, I've said that I'm actually doing reviews for the whole team. That's 45 different reviews. The process is simple. Hopefully this brings you some value. Number one, we have a thing that the employee has to fill out. Then their manager is also looking at that and adding their comments alongside it, and then the manager is setting goals for them, and we also ask the employee to set goals for them. And then now we have a big review of kind of like discussing it all, seeing how they are. And I think the big thing that I'm focusing on now in these reviews personally is that what are someone's goals in the next 2 years of their life, not necessarily in their career, just in life. Because I want to understand people, ideally our culture is that we want people to be here for the right time in their life, that they'll really enjoy it and they'll give it the best. So yeah, anyway, I've got to jump on this review now. The review is I'm doing it is with Sabrina, who's over in our LA team. So let me get to it.
Unwilling, it's a new day, new world, we all winning. I'm up late, up early, I gotta get it. Keep working, now we gotta make a million. Go get it, you gotta see it. Go get it, you gotta see it.
It'd be interesting to hear, like, from your side, what kind of things you can do for apps or digital products to keep users and keep people coming back.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of things. So I think a big part of what helps to inform, at least from a product perspective and business perspective, is analytics insight about how people are interacting with your app. You know, you could figure out as people work their way through, if you picture your app as a funnel, and you've got that registration at the top, and you can funnel down and figure out where people end up and where they go to in the app. It's figuring out at which stage are people dropping off, which place do people not return, and then I guess the reason to why is it that the UX doesn't look that great? Is it that actually they can't see a button? Is it that things are going off their screen and they don't know how to proceed? So there's a lot of things that kind of inform that, and I think analytics and insight in that front help influence kind of what we address and how we address it. We've got an external test group, so before we do big releases, we engage with those people, we ask them for feedback, we ask them to test. Here's a thing we've just made. We spent a bunch of time delivering what we think you're going to like. Tell us what you think. And like a bit of feedback before we release it. You can only really make well-informed decisions with analytics or something like that. Something that there is a reason why people are dropping them. People aren't. I mean, people would have seen what you're offering, downloaded your app because they're after whatever it is you're pitching. So, you know, your marketing message could be, we deliver the best car rental service on the market, and you go, I want a car rental service because I'm going on holiday. Perfect. If when they get there, they can't see any of the cars, or it's very hard and it doesn't tell you which ones are sold out and they can't navigate, then it's going to be very hard for them to do anything with that. So straight away people will leave. So you need to figure out, one, I guess, why people are coming to your app, and two, why are people leaving? What is it they're experiencing when they actually invest the time to join and on board? What is it they see, feel, and what is it they work through? Because whatever it is at that point is the reason they're not sticking. So again, it could be UX, it could be, I mean, the number of things it could be just kind of endless. It entirely depends on, I guess, what it is you want to look at. If you provide users with the same content all the time, it's static and it never changes, people will get bored and move on to find something new. The best thing you can do in that case then is provide them with fresh new content as frequently as you can, so that people are starting to get more value from the app as time goes on. So I guess in an example would be if you had a fitness app and you wanted to make, we do like workouts or guides, whatever it might be. If you stuck with the same 2 guides for a year, people would get very bored of that. They run out of things to do. If you give them a new guide every month, every couple of weeks, they'll keep coming back because there's something new for them to always try. So I guess the main thing is when you've got those users is always providing them with utility, a reason to keep coming back to your app, a reason for them to continue using you versus someone else.
I smoke a retarget. Shipping down, she need some more breath. I got smoke all in the air. Fuck this up and nigga left. If you on my fucking left, stack it up right on the shop.
Alright, how do you keep customers?
So from a product perspective, purely a product perspective, I would say execution is one thing that people overlook massively. You put so much time and effort into the product and you make sure it's the right fit, or you make sure it's the right material and it's amazing and it's great, but actually how does it arrive to someone? How does it make them feel? You want to evoke an emotion when, as soon as they open it. They see the package. We live in the age of social media where it's the packaging straight away, and you want them to put it straight on Instagram. You want it to share on TikTok or Facebook, whatever it is. It's the outer mailing bag. It's your poly bag as well. Like, does it have a swing ticket? The inside labels, for example. It's all these tiny little details. Things like kind of the customization on the zip pull, for example, the zip thread, the tags, everything needs to be customized to execute properly.
Well, don't move, you keep moving.
If you on my fucking left, stack it up right on the shop. You'll be left for me, y'all. I got drip and let
So we've done 2 million more in sales just from ads.
I got drip and let you up.
Person to subscribe for 5 months, obviously then you're like going a super high ROI.
Yeah, I spoke to the guy who led the acquisition for Spotify, got introduced. He goes, it's 11 months for them to break even on a subscriber. So I think we need to start thinking a bit differently, that I think we can't be worried about the acquisition cost.
I'm in the blind shop.
You should absolutely, with any ads, look at the lifetime value of a customer. So you shouldn't be looking at your costs towards your first time purchase. You should be looking towards how many purchases they make after that. That means you'll get a much higher ROI overall, and it means you get a far better picture of the true value of that customer. And that often means that you can actually spend more in the front end to get that customer, but it also means you can do more kind of engagement pieces to keep that person on for longer. So the kind of ads we'd make for our clients, for example, would be push notifications for our app-based clients. That's just to get people going back to the app. Often if they're using the app and they're happy and they're motivated, they're gonna subscribe for longer. Whereas obviously if they're kind of dropping off, then they're no more use to you because they're no longer a paying subscriber. Other kind of things that we like to do is we like to show people different areas of the products or different use cases of the product. So often with items like resistance bands, for example, people might have a few exercises that they do with them, but they may not know that there's so many more that you can do. And if you get a different weight of resistance band, for example, there's just so much more that you can do. So again, it's looking after the lifetime value of a customer, and that really gives you far more value than just looking at a one-time purchase. So how we would do this in the ad space is we use retargeting. So retargeting is where you put a pixel on your website, on your app, and then that allows you to track these customers and you can see when they make certain decisions. So classic kind of things that we would do here, if someone say bought from you during a sale period, then you can track those people, and next time you go onto a sale, you can then do another campaign to those guys. Or for example, for people who use our apps, we may look at people who haven't used the app for say 30 days, and then they would get a completely different message to somebody who was using the app and was super motivated. And that kind of way we would look at things like, have you tried this section? Like we have community sections, and knowing that they're not in this alone and that they have other people who they can bond with on the app is a great way to get them coming back and becoming a lifetime customer. So definitely look into remarketing strategies here. It's the best way to keep people engaged, and then that's the best way to grow your brand long term because you've got lots of happy paying customers on repeat.
Alright, so it's Friday, I'm here in the office. Hope you got some good tips from the team over there. This week I sat and actually thought a lot about all the upcoming stuff, all the planning. So I spent a lot of time thinking from here till the end of the year, what's going to happen when. It's very important to actually be on top of when you plan things to happen. Also for you to then kind of force them to make sure they do happen. So if you are releasing a new campaign or a new product, or you want to do a new marketing push or whatever that is, you actually have to ultimately decide for yourself, like, hey, I want to get this done, it's it. 10 days we're going live, and then you just get in the zone and get it done. So I've been kind of focusing on that, which is good. Anyway, in this video though, as I said in the beginning, we're going to be telling you how to keep your customers happy and make sure they keep coming to buy. I'm going to break that down for you in a couple of steps. Number one, so what you want to do is you need to work on customer experience. So a lot of people focus on just making the sale. You know, you focus on all the copy, all the marketing, all the content. Someone buys your shit, you'll never hear from them again. That's what normally happens. And the way you can make that better is like this. Number one, work on the customer experience from purchase to like someone getting the product and the way they get the product. If it's a physical product, work on the packaging, work on the email, the language of the email. If it's a text message, what comes inside the package? Do you get something really cool? Is it something shareable? Think of that experience. Similarly, if it's digital, think of like, how did the person log in? What did they see? What's the user experience? Do you know the amount of people that copied my athlete business, which is even and they're live today, and they worked on like selling to a fitness influencer, hey, this coaching platform is amazing, but when you go onto their product, it is literally the shittest user experience you can imagine, because they haven't thought about the other side, so people then just leave. So I'll say number one, sit and think about that. There's so many ways to do better than what anyone else does. I'll give you an example like Supreme. They give you a Supreme sticker, they give you a bouncy ball, and they give you other stuff in every single package. And people are like, wow, this is amazing. You'll put the sticker on your laptop. Your free marketing. There's so much you can do. Number two, it's to keep customers, grow your customers, and grow the brand itself. Everything you do, it should be in your brand's tone of voice. So in the email, when it says your order's been dispatched, if your thing is like, you know, you have a bit of a tongue-in-cheek brand, that's how the language should be. I'm gonna give you an example right now. We have a client named Mike Thurston. If you check out his Instagram, I'm gonna put it right here, check out his captions, you'll see that he always, what you say here in England is that, you know, they're like cheeky captions, where like he's kind of taking the piss. He's like trying to be funny. So if you go to the Thirst website, if you look at all the product descriptions, which I'll put it right here, it matches the exact same tone of voice. So that branding everywhere really makes a customer fall in love with the brand. Then, because what you want is when someone buys a product from your brand, when they're gonna go on social, when they're gonna go this, when they're gonna go check this, you want it to feel like to them that, you know what, that's my type of brand. I like that brand. Nah, they're cool, those guys are. Because the moment that comes, that customer's coming back. He's gonna come back to buy more. He's gonna tell his friends about it. It's very, very important. So that'll be my number two. So number three would be the way you interact with people that are your customers and stuff. Is that through socials or the way it is? Get in a habit of interacting with the people. But I'll tell you the thing that I've learned. Don't just listen to people. People make the mistake of, oh, listen to your customers, build what people want. That's kind of untrue. You want to listen to them, but then you should use your own mind and your own understanding of the product and the market to figure out what is it that they actually want. So what I found was that customers would be like, you know, oh, I want X feature. But the only reason they're saying that because that's how they perceive it to be, whereas really that's the idea. Now you do your own execution and you figure out that actually this is better. You know, if someone's saying to you like, I want my hood to be bigger on my hoodie, you need to sit and think about that and be like, or is it like, do they just want a bigger fit? Like, what is that they really want? So I would say, speak to people to get the ideas of improvements, but then sit and do your own work and figure that out. So I think that's number three. But what people like about that is that if someone's feedback has been used, they will love your brand in a different way, trying to make it look like that you care about what people are saying, their opinions. So that'll be number three. Yeah, so I guess if you follow those three things, what you'll find is, from my experience of 50 plus brands, selling a shitload of products, I learned a lot of this actual tangible stuff that you're not gonna find in a book written by some academic. This is the real life stuff that you go through by doing and doing and doing to figure it out, you know? The amount of customer service mistakes that I've made, shipping mistakes, things not getting there fast enough in a good quality, the way it should be delivered, the packaging, all these small things learning over the years. The thing that we focus on the most now is that everything is an opportunity for someone to share on social media. Every single thing that the business does is an opportunity for someone to share it. And if you think like that, you will really think like that. Like the packaging could say have a funny saying on it and then people will share it. It's free marketing. You know, your social media posts, your this, your that. When you buy on the website, what does it say? After on the confirmation page. Every little thing can be designed in a way that makes it shareable, which gives you free marketing. Anyway, I hope you like this video and seeing some of the team. Just here, finishing the week off strong. Lots of new developments on the funding stuff as well, which is exciting. But anyway, make sure you like this video, hit subscribe. Loads of other videos coming. It's the Weekflow, and thanks for watching.